Hello everybody and welcome back to the F1 2016 live career mode. It is episode number 92, which I know I've just seen in my title of the video. It is the wrong one. It is episode 92, guys, so if you want to refresh your streams, you're watching it now, please do so right now. But we are here for the Singapore Grand Prix. It is probably the toughest race on the calendar. It's the longest one on the calendar as well in terms of race length, so it's going to be a long one, but we'll see how we go anyway. For this race. And before we go into it, we've got Emma, our agent's going to have a little word with us for our expectations for the race, so we'll get them out of the way now, and then we'll go into more depth of what this episode is going to be. So, here we go.
Hey, how are you? I have some information on the race goals you should keep in mind.
So, we've got to finish 6th or higher, which is kind of respectable, really, from our agent and the team. Finish ahead of Carlos Sainz, who, if you guys did not know, in the last episode, is our new rival for the remainder of the season, I believe, and obviously beat Max Verstappen as well, our teammate, and stay 4th in the championship as well. So, in the last episode, guys, at Monza, we pulled off probably one of the best strategies I've ever done in a career mode episode. We did one stop at Monza. From 21st on the grid, we won the race, which is fantastic for us, and it means now, as we'll get into this bit in a minute, we tie on points with Max Verstappen, who had a poor race, lost his 17-point gap in one race, and we are ahead of him on most wins, which is quite nice. So I'm happy with that. And don't count out Carlos Sainz and Sebastian Vettel just yet. They're both 68 and 73 points behind. So if either me or both of us, actually, me and Max, have a moment, then you never know. It could spice this championship up even more, but we'll wait and see. In the Constructors, briefly, I'm not going to say anything else apart from that we're going to win the championship regardless, unless a miracle happens. On there. But for the research and development, guys, I'm going to ask you who are watching this live to vote on what upgrade we go for. Now, there's only 3 options because I don't think we're going to get the engine power, but we are going to cease the R&D after this race. So once we get the amount of resource points, we'll cease R&D and then focus on next season as well. So I will let you guys decide that. It's in the top right hand corner if you can't see it. Then refresh your stream and make sure that it appears, because I want your guys' votes to determine where we're going to go next for our final upgrade of Season 3. But without further ado, let's head to the track for the Singapore Grand Prix. Can we pick up a win and extend our lead in the championship, or expand it a little bit bigger than we have done so far? But without further ado, it's race time. Let's do this, guys. Around the streets of Singapore, it's race time.
As the sun sets over the South China Sea, the sport that never sleeps is alert and raring to go. Welcome, under the bright lights of the Marina Bay Circuit, to another Singapore Grand Prix. It's a very long, very physical lap, this one, and really there's not much in the way of margin for error. So we have a bit of an endurance race for you tonight. Situated just 88 miles north of the equator, this 3.5-mile circuit is hot, it's humid, and is an incredible test for the drivers as they try to fight their cars around the bumps and in between the barriers. 23 corners take us twice over the bay to complete a single lap of this unique racetrack. The view is spectacular, the heat is unbearable. The race should be incredible. So as we look ahead to what I hope will be a very entertaining race, I have to ask Anthony Davidson what you expect to see in terms of strategy today. I mean, do you expect a lot of tyre management? A lot of fuel management?
Well, don't we always? I don't expect these are going to be any more important than usual, if I'm honest. What I do expect, however, are a lot of drivers getting into the pits early for some kind of undercut on fresh rubber. If you can pit before the person in front, have a good stop and drive a blistering outlap, there may be 1 or 2 seconds to be gained. If anyone gets stuck behind another car, for example, that will be the go-to strategy, surely.
You're lower on the grid than we wanted. See to it that we improve throughout the race.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Esteban Gutierrez has a good view of turn 1 from his pole position slot, and Nico Rosberg completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Button, Vettel, Carlos Sainz, and Alonso, Palmer, Grosjean, a Red Bull, and Pascal Wehrlein. Magnussen, Haryanto, Marcus Ericsson and Perez, Nasser, Bottas, Lewis Hamilton and Nico Hülkenberg, Raikkonen and Massa, Daniel Kvyat and Max Verstappen completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
So that's the grid, chaps, and it's a bizarre one with Gutierrez on pole. Yeah, if you haven't seen qualifying, I recommend you watching it because it was probably one of the most bizarre qualifying sessions of the season and the series as well. But it is going to be a one-stop strategy here today with rain expected at the end of the race as well. So I don't think that's going to play a role in this one. But look at that, 54 minutes of action. You guys are in for a treat here today. But we are going to do that one stop this evening. And the setup I'm running is on your screen right now. If you want to use it, I'll leave a comment time frame once the stream is finished, and then if you guys could like the comment, I would really appreciate that so everyone can see it and you can use it for your own qualifying online for league racing or single player or your own career mode. It's entirely up to you, so I'll leave that in there for you guys to try out if you want. Our goal for this stream, as it is Singapore, is 111 likes. 111 likes. That will be amazing. Good, smash that tonight at Singapore. It is the longest one. It is the trickiest one, and I hope to win this race as well and build a gap there. Max Verstappen down the field in last place is also going to be on the one stop, so we've got to follow his strategy calls. But we're going to start this race now in the middle of the pack, so this is going to be fun. Here we go. Singapore Grand Prix is go, and it's a great start from us actually, as we can try and get past Palmer here, as we're in a sandwich. Bit of contact there made. Rosberg's at a moment. Gutierrez is holding the pack up actually, as his teammate gets past us again, and that's a good start actually. He's up to 8th place, I think. I think it's where he started actually. So got no force feedback for this race, unfortunately, which is not going to be nice to drive, but I'm not really bothered actually. Hopefully our straight line speed of the Renault powered engine can beat the Haas, and it looks like we are going to do that. As there's been some contact there, Gutierrez, Button, and I think Vettel's got through. And I think has taken the lead of the race actually. I'm not sure. He has indeed. As I just have to just hold station for the time being. Someone's parked it. I think he's got back going again, but we're up to 8th place. So not really a big gain of 1 place, but oh well. That's all I've got to say about that. But go over Nansen Bridge, where we had a bit of a moment here last season, if you guys remember that, where we spun it twice at that same part of the track, but so far it's not been that great of a start really, but everyone around us is on the faster tyre, so I'm not really bothered at the time that we lose, but I'm going to try and do a one stop. I think the rest of the pack will do 2 stops, and I know they will be quicker than me come end of the race, so we really need to just maintain the gaps and hope and pray that we do well. But Vettel already putting a gap already to the pack as I've hit the wall there with a bit of oversteer. I think we got away with that with just a scrape, so it should be fine. But Vettel leads the way at the end of the first lap, as I think Gutierrez is going backwards, I'm afraid. So his moment of fame of leading the race is over after the first sector, and he's actually holding the pack up, which is quite interesting, which could play into my hands here. So we'll see how we get on. Last time we were here, we didn't particularly finish this. We didn't finish the race. We crashed out in season 1 as well, if I remember. So I would like to finish this race, but we'll wait and see. Try and late move here on Jody and Palmer if we can, and we get it done nicely, thanks to Rosberg checking up in front of him. Sainz is being held up by Alonso, and he leaves the door open, Alonso, and Sainz gets through up to 4th. So Alonso down to 5th, Rosberg in P6, we're in P7, and we just got to hold station for the time being. Let's remember these will be pitting a bit earlier, obviously with them on the ultra soft tyre, we're on the super soft tyre, so we can go a little bit longer than these guys. And hopefully we should get to around about, I'm going to guess about around about 15 would be nice. It says lap 13 to 18, so I'm going to pit in the middle and go lap 15 or 16 off these tyres and go onto softs to the end of the race and do a one stopper here this evening. right in the back of Rosberg, nearly hitting the back of him there. That would have been a spin for us and would have been game over. But Vettel pulling away a bit. He's in the 146s now.
DRS is now
We're in the 147, so we're only a second off the pace. Sainz makes a move on Gutierrez and moves up to third place to Sainz. The DRS is now enabled, so we should maybe get past a few people here. If we can, but you never know. With these AI cars, you don't know. So we've just made the move there on Nico Rosberg, who left the door open for us, so we're going to take it. There's actually been a yellow flag, actually, so someone's parked it. I don't know what happened there, but someone's parked it. And there could be a first retirement of the race. Don't know what happened there. So it should have been, maybe could have been Palmer, or maybe Grosjean having a contact with someone. But we're up to 6th place now. We've got Fernando Alonso next and Esteban Gutierrez holding up Alonso, as the top 3 are starting to pull away massively now over the pack. Fuel's looking good at the minute, 1.5 laps worth, so we should be fine. It's right in the back of Alonso there, who I think has been held up massively here by the Haas car. And it's holding me up, actually, so I really want to get past these two quickly. So we'll just bring the top 3 back into contention here. Sainz actually is right on the back of someone who is actually in the championship hunt, remember. Oh, and we hit the back of Alonso. That's not going to help us any good. Alonso just braking a little bit earlier than expected for me, for my liking. But we'll carry on with this damage. Don't think it's that bad at the minute. Hopefully our Renault engine here could help us get past both these cars quickly. And actually, we're going to go 3 wide down the straight. And we just about get it on both of them there. Actually, Alonso has pushed Gutierrez into the wall, and I think Gutierrez is out of this race now, unfortunately. So Alonso pushes Gutierrez onto the curb, I think, and he spun it. Because I did that in a league race round here a few years ago, and it is possible when you go over the curbs you will spin it. So we're up to 4th. Next up for us is Carlos Sainz, our former teammate, and look at the gap he's got already, and he's already catching up to someone. Alonso looking pretty strong in that McLaren, I've got to say. I mean, the damage isn't that bad actually at the minute. Verstappen's well down the pecking order, so theoretically I just need to stay in the points, and I think we'll be extending our lead in the championship, even though technically we are on the same amount of points with Max at the minute. But looks like it's going to go down to the wire though, like last season with Kimi Raikkonen, but this time it's my teammate, so that's going to be quite fun and exciting. I don't know who's in 2nd place actually, I'm not sure. I think it could be Jenson Button actually. Here comes Alonso. Gonna have to leave the door open for him on the out. I'm going to hold it around the outside though. Very good defensive move from me. And we hold on to P4 for the time being. Button's been passed by Sainz. Just got to defend now from Alonso here. And Jody and Palmer as well with that Renault engine. And I just held it there as Alonso just basically tapped the back of me there. And I think Jody and Palmer was the unfortunate one in all of that. I just saved it, just about. From what would have been a retirement straight away, I saved it just about. But that's what I mean, being glued to a car and that happens just isn't nice. So we got away with that, just about. Just shows you how aggressive the AI can be. So we luckily avoided any damage from that. It would have been definite end of race moment there for us. It's been a manic 5 laps already. Just run a little bit wider than I would have liked.
Okay, some information on NASA. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
So I've just got to try and pull away from Fernando here if I can, but he may have damage as well.
Okay, the incident has been cleared. Let's get
But we'll
back
wait
on
and
the
see.
race.
Sainz is catching up to Vettel, so that's a surprise. So what did I say about Carlos Sainz? He could still technically win this championship if he wins every race. And we come in third place, I think. He would win the championship, so... But I think if it stays as it is, I think Sainz will move up to third in the championship. I think Alonso's in the pits because Grosjean's up to fifth, so he's going to be hunting me down now. And I think Sainz is actually catching up to Sebastian Vettel along with Jensen, so I don't know if Vettel's got any problems with his car at the minute, but I'm not too sure what to say really. Should have gone to second there, but oh well. NASA, I think, has got a puncher. If it comes up with that, it's either a puncher or he's got, unless he's got an engine failure, which just basically slows the car down. Could be numerous things, really. And we have our first man in the pits. It's Jensen Button in the first man of the top runners to pit. We set a new PB, which I'll take. Running a little bit wider than I would have liked. Let's look at the tyres quickly. 21%, not too bad. Ericsson's up to 4th for Sauber, that's a surprise. So it's about 8 seconds, I'll say, to the leader, which is obviously Sebastian Vettel. But Sauber up to 4th, that's going to be big for the constructors down the pecking order. Trying to save as much tyre wear here and avoid that curb on the right hand side where the Anderson Bridge is, just because of last season. Verstappen's still at the bottom of that train, as you can see. And both the leaders are in now, Sainz and Vettel come into the pits, so we will take the lead of the race, obviously. Hopefully hope that train holds up both Sainz and Vettel in all this. We just went a bit too late into the corner. Vettel out again on ultra softs, which is quite a shock, really. Magnussen on the softs will be interesting to see how he does. Hamilton up to P3, Alonso fastest man. You have a good dinner, Cameron, by the way. Obviously, if any subscribers come through, I won't be shouting out them because of Singapore being so tight and twisty. I need to focus in this race. I've got to think about Lewis Hamilton as well, because he was out of Q1 along with a few of the big names like Raikkonen, Verstappen, Bottas, so they're going to be ahead now of that train we saw on the map, so it's going to be quite close and interesting. There is that massive train. Got over 130 people watching this, is quite mad, so remember the like goal, guys. 111 likes is our target for this one. 111 is all I ask for. If we hit that, that'll be fantastic, and would mean we'll get maybe an earlier time slot for Malaysia tomorrow, if that's possible. But we're back with AOR coverage tomorrow, of course. I'll be racing in the Formula Renault Championship. The AOR Formula Renault Championship. I'm actually in the league, well, not technically in the league yet, but I'm a reserve, but I've managed to get into this week's race. So I'm going to be streaming both the feature and the sprint race, of my point of view. And I'll be racing against a certain Fizzy Fan 91 tomorrow. And I know a lot of you will know that from co-op, so think of this as like a little co-op championship, but with online people. And also Ownage as well. If you don't know who Ownage is, then where have you been hiding under a rock and not heard about who Ownage is? Oh, we hit the wall. That's not what I wanted. Okay, we've bottled it. Yep, we have absolutely bottled this. Not what I needed. So early into this race as well, I didn't need that. We're 3 laps under from where we need to be target-wise. We have to absolutely floor it now. So we've got Marcus Ericsson, who's going to lead this race, which is going to be quite a shock to most of you in the chat. Marcus Ericsson's just got so much grip than me, but I'm going to pit now and just see if we can get to the end on these tyres. It's going to be close, but just the back end there just went. Not what I needed, but as long as I beat Max Verstappen in this race, I'm just going to take it. Now that's my goal in this one. We could go to the end of the race if we can on these tyres. Here comes the French Baguette. And we're going to be in clean air, which is what I need right now. Maybe Pascal Wehrlein will give Marcus the seat. That's a point, actually. It could give, if Marcus Ericsson does well in this race, you never know what might happen for Season 4. I've got to pick between either Nasser or Ericsson for the mice. So I've got to avoid not getting over that white line, but luckily we're ahead of Nico Rosberg, so that's definitely what I need, and we've got some clean air. And luckily it's Massa fighting with Rosberg, so that's what I need. But the goal now is to try and hold out on these tyres to the end of the race, is my goal now. So I may just tactically stay and lean for the slow sections. Oh my lord, back end went. So we're going to go into standard, I think. And again we hit the wall. I need to you guys know I don't like this track. Racing it, it's going to be so difficult in the AOR when we get to it, but I'm dreading it so much now. We'll see if this soft tyre strategy is going to work for us here, but I doubt we'll get to the end of the race on these, but might even go on to a set of ultras in a minute. Well, not now, obviously, but back end slid out. We'll see how these tyres go, and then we're just going to have to take a tactical gamble and go onto ultras and do a 2-stop. We'll see how the tyres go though in the next 10 laps.
1.7 seconds.
A little bit wide than I would have liked. This is not going well. I'm not doing race with the subs till tomorrow, so... Oh, that's massive. Sainz has got issues. And that could hold some pack up actually, so that could work out very nicely here. But the race with the subs is going to be tomorrow afternoon. Earlier than expected. I forgot about that actually. So it's going to be tomorrow afternoon, the race with the subs. A bit earlier than expected, but it's because of the AOR tomorrow that I can't do it in the evening times. Because I can't do it on Saturdays because of New Year's Eve, because I'm going out for that. Got to keep pushing, really. There's the pack. There's the train of cars. 46 is not bad. Fastest in the last sector. We did it in Monza, a 1-stop. We could do it here, but we'll just need to keep an eye on it a few laps. And just see how our tyre wear's going. But it's nearly 150 people watching this, is quite nice, so...
The gap to the car ahead is 6.1 seconds.
We're fastest in the first sector now, so we are pushing, which is what I needed to do. Rosberg's not really a threat at the minute, but he will be soon. If he's on a fresh set of super softs there. There's the massive train.
Some information on Massa. They're speeding up again, so I expect they'd fix whatever the problem was.
A bit of oversteer just then. Nearly hit the wall there. That would have been a puncher. Gap 6 seconds to Pascal Wehrlein ahead of us on the super soft tyre. A little bit wide, but we're into the 45s, which I'm quite happy with actually. And again running wide at turn 1. But we gained half a second, I think that was, on Pascal Wehrlein, so that's what I need to do. Try and maintain the gap in the middle sector, and then the first and last sector we push. So we're not technically out of this just yet. And I think some people will pit in a minute for the soft tyres and go to the end of the race, like Verstappen will, Hamilton, Bottas, Raikkonen possibly. Even Marcus Ericsson, who I think is still leading this one, I'm not sure. I've not seen the standings change just yet. I've not really looked at it, if I'm honest, because I'm just trying to focus on this track. But what's important is we're putting away from Rosberg, which is definite, very, put us in good confidence here. Right, 4 seconds now it is. to Pascal now. And it's Marcus Ericsson still leading this race. Definite contender here for a win is Marcus. No one's pitted just yet. Someone actually has pitted. I don't know who it is, but he's going to pip us out of it. And I think it's Lewis Hamilton. It is on the Ultras, which is interesting. So he's definitely going to be making another pit stop.
Right, the car ahead has come in to put on the ultra soft tyre. Car ahead is now running ultra softs.
I don't think we'll get past Hamilton though, but at least we can stay with him. That would be nice. Made the corner. Let's look at the tyre wear. 11% at the minute. It's not too bad actually, tyre wear wise. So you know what? I think I could go to the end of the race on these, or just scrape the wall there. You may have just seen it on there. I'm not sure. We have got rain expected at the end of the race. Oh, that was a big cut there. Why is the game not giving me a warning at least? That's bizarre, if I'm honest. Very scratching my head moment there. I don't know why I didn't get a warning for that. When it's on strict thing. Verstappen's in the pits. But a full flock of people in the pit lane right now. So we're going to jump quite a few of these. I think we'll be back in the points here. No, we're not. So it's not too bad at the minute. I know Hamilton will be quicker than us, but the most important factor here is that he has to pit again. It's about a 26-second pit stop round here. You'll lose, so, or even 30 seconds. But he's being held up here by Verline, which is going to be nice for me, as we've got past all the guys who are in the big train. So they're all behind us right now. I don't know if they're going to be doing what I'm doing and performing a one-stopper here. But at the minute, the tyres seem okay for us to last to the end of the race, but you never know. It has only been 5 laps, so don't really count my chickens just yet. But 13 and 14% is not that bad actually. No idea where past Max Verstappen is, but if you look at the mini-map, at the yellow dot, then that is Max Verstappen. He's actually just coming to start the final sector now. So I think he's about 8 seconds or so behind, if I'm honest. As Haryanto is leading the race. Okay. Haryanto, get that screenshotted if you get it. But Haryanto is leading this Singapore Grand Prix. I'm pretty sure he's going to pit because I think he's started on the soft tyres. So actually Haryanto could be my guinea pig here, because this looks promising if we pit on lap 13 and Haryanto hasn't pitted yet, and see how long the soft tyres can go. So this could be an easy one stop here. I know Hamilton definitely has to make a pit stop again. I think he'll go on to another set of super softs. But we're on to the second half of this one. I've got to say, half an hour, it's gone quickly this race. I have to say, it's gone quite quick so far. This Singapore Grand Prix. Rosberg's still with us on pace. I think the super softs are coming up to that temperature where they can work, but 14% still on these soft tyres. I think this could work out for us here to go all the way to the end of the race on this soft tyre, as I've mentioned that probably numerous times already. Just going to bump it up to Rich now and just push now for pace. Ariento still leads. As a few people are in the pits, Hamilton goes quickest now. Got a yellow flag.
Caution, yellow flags ahead.
Oh, Lewis Hamilton's out as he just sets the fastest lap of the race.
Until you see the greens. So the gap to our teammate is 7.
So Hamilton's out, unfortunately. After setting the fastest lap, he's out. And no sign of the safety car. So that's quite encouraging for me. Well, this would have worked out nicely actually for a safety car, so got to carry on. We're back in the points now, up to 9th. That's a bit of karma there for Lewis Hamilton. If I'm honest, fastest lap and then boom, he's out.
Should remain dry. We will keep you informed of any changes to the weather.
Jeff's telling me it's going to be dry, but you saw at the start of the one, it's going to rain. End of the race. There's the lead pack, I think, going over the bridge to start the final sector. So we're not far off actually. So I'm quite happy with the pace I'm doing right now. Let's look at the tyres quickly. 17-18%. So lean's not too bad actually. I could just stay in lean and I could just save the tyres. So it's time to push now, and then when everyone pits, we'll jump it back down to lean and just save some tyre wear for the end of the race. As speaking of which, Magnussen's in, Kvyat's in, I think. Rosberg, I think, passed the pack, so we're up to 6th place. So at least we're catching up to Verline, which will be nice, and we'll be up to P5.
Some information on site. It seems they fixed whatever the problem was. They're coming back up to speed. Just made the pass for first. Davidson. It looks like the problem is terminal. They're retiring the car.
Brilliant stuff from Toro Rosso today. What a superb victory. Tell me, Alex, what was the key to this success?
I think we'll chalk this one up to a deft touch on the brake pedal. That's allowed them to challenge down the inside into the braking zones, and ultimately, if you do that often enough, you end up winning the race. It was great to watch as well though, wasn't it? Forget strategy, forget tyre management. Who doesn't love a good old-fashioned scrap?
And look at this, they're coming out now. Toro Rosso have developed something of a reputation for forging exciting talent, and we can see that here. An incredible victory. And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. Max Verstappen takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after that excellent result. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
Probably Danny Kvyat. The young Russian has a lot to live up to, and I think he did just that today.
On to the constructors then. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.